Hello world, this is RandomFIX. Today I'll be doing a quick overview of how to successfully buy vehicles on Craigslist or some of these apps like OfferUp. So first step, once you've determined the make and model of the car you want, and you kind of zoned in on that, do a search, find the car, contact the seller. Now here's where the fun stuff begins, right? You want to contact the seller and be very honest from the very beginning that you're an interested buyer. You want this particular make and model of this car. You have the money, or you're approved for a loan, right? And you're looking to buy as soon as possible, right? So kind of have a checklist of things you want to ask them. Is there a crack in the windshield? Is the front bumper okay? How are the tires? Do all the windows work, right? Has the car been in any accidents? How many owners does it have, right? And don't go into as far as negotiation or ask them what they would take over the phone. Just continue on asking them whatever you want to know about the car that interests you. And once you've spent a good 5-10 minutes building some rapport with the seller here, you want to ask them, say, by the way, before you get off the phone, is there any way you can text or email or provide me the VIN number so I can go ahead and run a Carfax or an auto check on the vehicle? I'll have a link to the video at the end if you don't know what that is. So once they give you the VIN number, you want to go ahead and run your report. And once you filter out the cars that you don't want, for example, if the car's from the East Coast, maybe you don't want that car. It may have some rust, right? You want to go ahead and contact them back and set up a time with them in a location like the bank or their house, right? So those are the two locations that I've actually found to be most successful over the years. If you're meeting them at their house, please ask them not to start the car that morning. Just because it's really a great indication when you go start the car, when it has been started the whole day, when it cranks right over, or if it does crank over and you see smoke blowing out the back, you might have another problem, right? You might have some bad piston rings, right? Or it could be overfilled with oil. So you go now. You're gonna go and meet them at you've set up the time to meet them, and before you get off the phone and say, by the way, just so I don't waste your time, I want to see if you're flexible at all, because I'm going to be bringing cash, or I'm going to bring cashier's check, right? And I just want to see if you have any flexibility, right? And just wait for them to answer. Sometimes they'll go, yeah, I have a little flexibility, and they'll give you a number, right? Write down the number next to the list of questions you asked that you asked them, and you have hopefully written down all the answers they gave you, if the windshield was cracked, whatever, right? And then now you want to, when you go to the appointment, make sure you take that piece of paper with you. If they tell you they're 100% firm, it still may be worthwhile to go look at this car, and here's why. Once you go meet with them at their house, you want to go ahead and once the car is started, just say the car looks great, hop in the car with the seller, right? And take the car for a test drive. If the car doesn't drive good, don't buy it, right? If he tells you that, the car drives really bad because it needs $10 spark plugs, just walk away. He would have spent the $10 on doing the spark plugs, right? And if you're really know about cars, you want to take that risk, go for it. But take the car for an extended test drive for 15 to 30 minutes. And as you're driving with them, you want to build some rapport with this seller now. Find out why he's selling the car, he or she. Find out why they listed it on that particular site. Find out what replacement vehicle they have, right? Find out their motivation, why they want to sell, right? And when you get back to their house or the bank, you want to now pull out your tools. So you want to have a paint meter, if you have one. You definitely want to have an OBD2 scanner. They're under $25. I'll have a link to in the description below. And you want to now check the car to see if it's got any pending codes, any codes that have been erased, right? If somebody pulled the check engine light on you. And you want to also check if the car's been in any kind of accidents. If you have the paint meter with you, there'll be links to those videos at the end of this. And go around, inspect the vehicle, have the list the questions that you asked, and write down any undisclosed damage that they didn't tell you about. And you'll find undisclosed damage 90% of the time. And if everything checks out the way they told you, and they were 100% upfront, it's a good car to buy, even at whatever price that it's listed for. It could be a great find, right? Because quality is underrated sometimes, and having a really good experience where you don't have to go spend money out of your pocket the second you buy a car is a good feeling. And now add up all the undisclosed damage. So if they were selling the car for $10,000, right, and you got $1,650 worth of undisclosed damage, the windshield has a crack, the tires are bald. With the tires, physically grab them. If you can't grab the thread on them, that means they're wearing down, right? And you don't have to act like a Mr. Know-It-All about it. Just, oh, you know, how old are these tires? Do you think they need to be replaced? Right? Just create a little bit of doubt in the person's mind. Now, if the tires look great, please don't mention that. It's going to backfire on you. And write down all the undisclosed damage, and then go over with them. Say, well, I really like the car. I brought the money with me, but you know, I gotta fix this, and here's what adds up to $1,650, right? So how about we do like $8,450, right? And just wait for the seller to make a decision on what they want to do. Normally, if they know that you have the cash in hand and they're motivated, they're gonna make the decision on the spot. I've had very few instances, probably less than 10, where I couldn't get it that same day. And this is after 18 years. So, you've done all this, right? And now you want to go, if they agree to it, go ahead and shake their hand. Make sure, if you're in California, you get a smog certificate or get the car smogged. Or if you checked it with the scanner, and there's no codes and all the monitors are ready, you have a good probability of passing a smog test. So you may roll the dice, you may not roll the dice, but you definitely need a smog certificate in California. But in the rest of the country, you may not need this. And now you just do your paperwork and drive the car home, and you're set. So let me know what kind of experiences you guys have had with buying cars, private party. I've had really great experiences. I think people generally are pretty cool, and you really do get a much better car if you're able to find it this way. So hit the subscribe button, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video, and thanks for watching. And I'll keep these videos going, and I'll do a couple of videos on what to inspect when you go look at a car, and that way you guys have a better idea what to look for. Thanks, guys.